Hello, everyone. How's it going? I just wanted to give an update on what's been going on. Right now, I'm calling from Italy, Florence, Italy, but I live part year in the United States and part year in France. So, about 3 years ago, I decided to retire early, but semi retire. Means you're still working. And the way that looked like for me was I took the sub 30K properties that I purchased and sold them. All of them had appreciated. And so, with that being said, I decided to buy something small in the DC area and buy something in France where I wanted to live. So, when I bought something in France, I was just with the USA visa, which is for every 6 months, you could stay 3 months. For every year, you could stay like 6 months, right? So, it's like half the time you can stay without any special visa. I did that for the first year. I was just staying within my visa, so I would go for like each month. I found like this cheap flight that no longer exists, but I'd get these round trip tickets for $300, and they are out of Baltimore directly to Paris, and it was backpack only, but super cheap. So I would do that every year, every month, and so I'd spend about 12 days there, and the rest of the time in the States. When I was there, I started building a community, a network, and started going, oh, well, I sort of like it here. Like, I had moved around a lot when I was older. So I was in Virginia Beach, I was in DC, and I realized that, like, it's fine where I lived, but it was sort of boring, and I didn't have a big social network. So I was like, I mean, and then I had visited France, and I had taken a €5 train ticket, and I was in a small little town. It was so cute and quaint. And I was like, if I'm not gonna have a social life, I'd rather do it in France than like in the States, right? Where I can at least take $5 train rides and I can be, let me know if you guys can hear me as you come in, train rides. And so, long story short, I was like, you know what? I spent 10 years investing in doing this. I'm just sort of done. Keynote, like, you don't have to invest forever. You can invest for 10 years and semi retire. So, that's the key point. So, what semi retirement looks like for me, I wanted to just sort of talk and give an update on it is so let me finish the story. So I was going back and forth for a year. It's $300. That's very budgetable. So I'd go to France, I'd save, and after about 8 months, I was like, okay, I want to live in Marseille. Marseille is in southern France. The main population is North African, and the second main population is African. Then it's the white French. So it's very multicultural, very ancient. It's these big stone fortresses because it was a big port. It was fought over by the Greeks, by the Tunisians, by the Turkish. Like, everyone fought for this port, but like France managed to hold on. So it's seen all sorts of pirates, mystics, people. It has these huge stone fortresses like that are out in the middle of the sea to protect it. It has a huge history. Like, so in Paris, these freaking Arabian knights would come up to help them fight, and all these white French were like, but they were really impressed with how bloodthirsty they were. So the national hymn is called the Marseillaise, sort of looking at like the North African and African fighters that they had. So it has like this beautiful, rich history. Whereas Paris is very staunchy, Marseille is very, it's fun. Like, they're here to have fun. It actually reminds me of my hometown of Vegas, to be honest. So I decided, after 8 months, I decided to live there. So some retirement for me looks like, and this is a really big key point. If you own your property outright, pause. Okay, you can retire early. So, like, my advice to young people now, or even people here, is like, buy a home that you can pay off within 10 years. Buy a home you can pay off within 10 years. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, buy something that you can pay off within 10 years. So, you can buy $100,000 house, you can buy a $200,000 house, $100,000 condo, $200,000 house, $80,000 fixer upper. You can buy all of those things. Just get something that you can pay off within 10 years. Once you have the fully paid off out, then you have a lot of freedom and cash flow. So what it looked like for me was that I spent time in the States and time in France. And when I was in France, I'd rent out the state one. And then when I was in the States, I'd rent out the French one. So between the two, that's enough to survive. Now, I had to recently move from self managing because it was a bunch of headaches to having a property management. So now the amount of money is significantly less. I'm like, oh, but it still works because I don't want to be hands on. And so I've been navigating that with very strict rules in a very popular French city. That is the hard part. So, like, I'm really into like Americans who want to retire, travel abroad. Like, really reframe your mindset to be um, I want to live there part time. Like, you can find these cheap flights or cheap ways to get to these places. Um, and also because you're living there part time, you're a primary resident. Once you're primary residence, especially in popular European cities, you have more flexibility with your rental property as an Airbnb. They'll allow you as a homeowner to rent out a lot more than they would as a second homeowner. So because of that, like it really does behoove you to make the international investment as part of a strategy of you being there at least 3 to 6 months a year. Okay. And sometimes how much you make on these properties is enough to sustain you where you don't have to work a full time job to have everything you need. Maybe not everything you want, but everything you need. So, yeah, that's what we've been doing. And so, because it's my principal residence, I'm allowed to, hey, if you're in, just go ahead and leave a comment just so I can see that you hear me, everything's good, even if it's just to say hi. So, making it a part of your lifestyle is the best way because you have more than your renting rules are less strict than your condo. My DC place is a condo, but because like I live there and it's my principal resident, if I rent the second room while I'm gone traveling and lock my door and the person has to themselves, I still get around a lot of rental regulations because it's my property. And you don't have to have state regulation for that. Except in France. You have to, it's very strictly regulated. So that is what I'd recommend for people who want to do the international. Try to make it a part of your lifestyle, not just something you visit for like 1 month, like 3 to 6 months should be the end goal, and it'll make things a lot easier. And then as you travel between the two, you want to set, and this is like a whole skill set in itself, set the whole place up where you can lock your stuff and leave. I really need to do a whole video on how I did that because it really does make a difference. So when I leave, I lock my stuff up in all these um, cases and a case coffer, a trunk, and no one messes with it. They could mess with it. No one is. Now, what next? So that's what I've been doing. I would, this is going to sound crazy, but people from Mexico have been doing this, and I'm the biggest fan of it. People from Mexico have been coming to the States to work and then going for 6 months and then going back to Mexico and living like a king. I'm really into people, especially Americans, find like that low place where, like that low cost living place where you can do this. It's like, yeah, we're paying the high prices in America, but I work hard. But then you go and even in France, it's 30% less cost of living than the United States. That's very significant, right? So that means $300, sometimes 100, sometimes 80. Yeah, I just wanted to give an update. I'm gonna try to do some more in the future. I want to do one on setting your place up for Airbnb, what that look like, and literally take my camera so you can see all the modifications you can make. And it doesn't cost a lot. You just have to be very strategic and very bright. Like, but you can like do it where all of your stuff is set up. It's safe and you can travel to this other destination and rent it out and not worry so much. The other one I want to do is like right now, and I've done this for all of my houses, but now and going into the future, for anyone who wants to buy property, you either need to buy a multifamily or you need to learn how to turn a single family into a multifamily. meaning you want something that has two bathrooms, you add a partitions like a two family. That is the future. Everyone who's saying they can't afford a house for like and this is for investors, not only for personal place, for actually modify for under $2,000. Hey, what hey, it's good, it's good. I just want to update everybody on what's going on, just semi-retired and what that looks like. Um, since I decided to make that move 3 years ago. But this is just a little real estate investing advice. Everyone right now, like it's funny because when I'm in France, I go to these language exchanges, and it's where I practice French and they practice English, and we take turns. And we get on real estate investing because that's my business, and it's just so interesting how all these people can make it in real estate without spending a lot of money. They just don't see it. I'm like, oh, I guess the same strategy that worked in the States works there. But one of the things that is really important right now for a dwelling unit, convert that garage into an apartment if it has its own bathroom. Convert a bedroom, four bathroom house to a two bedroom, one bath. It gets its own window air conditioning unit because it's controlled on this side. And this side gets a baseboard heat control. Think of the ways to make a single family, a multi-family. That's the future. Every single person I meet, oh, why don't you just do this and then rent part out and make an extra $800 a month? And the person renting is happy that they're only paying $800 a month and not $1,200 a month or $600, whatever it might be, because things are so squeezed. Like there's win-win solutions for everyone, but you just really got to be strategic. I can look into four homes and like two of them can easily be converted to a multifamily very easily by either putting a wall in place because of entrances in the front and the back, making a path, or maybe it's upstairs, downstairs. So you like put if they go through the back door, you put a partition wall, they can go straight down. But everyone needs to be doing that. And it's not just for you to be able to make money. The world needs this right now. The USA needs it. It needs more affordable housing. It needs some place where people can save for $600 to $800 a month. So their minimum wage job, they can save money. They need just 400 square feet in your garage that you converted, and or you know what I mean, or you put a tiny home back. Like the world needs this. So not only does it make you money, the world needs it, and this is how you can take a single family home and just sort of get 30, 40, 50%. And they know that they're happy with 600 on each side. And we're doing that. And all you have to do is just think like that. Like go into it thinking, can I make this a multifamily? Pretty easily. Can I put an air conditioning in here? Can I put a heater here? Can I put a door here? Because a door, $700, $800, $1,000. Oh, can I tap into the plumbing here? Um, Usually you want things that already has two bathrooms. You can do that. That's a renovation. Bedrooms, what's the play? That's the play, right? So now I have my condo in DC in France, and because the dollar is so France with the proceeds. So, because like, man, getting paid in euros is so much better, Because people are finding out that like it's super duper cool. Like you guys, if you've been following me for 15 years, you know I have a talent for um, undervalued property. And I'm like, oof, how come people aren't all over this? So that's why I'm sort of thinking of selling that and buying another one. And if I buy it there, I'm looking for a house that I can convert and have two separate units on each side and maximize the money. Do you see what I mean? So that's the name of the game right now, here or abroad. Um, we need more affordable housing. So I'm just going to stop with that. I just wanted to come on, say hi, introduce myself. I have about 5 coaching clients this year. So it was pretty good for 2025. So I am open for coaching clients if anyone would like to work together, or if you're thinking of moving abroad and doing the real estate things. I'm not an expert everywhere. I know people. I had one client, we were going over the Caribbean, and I did the best I can. It actually worked. But definitely, if you're looking for European cities, which are a different beast, but some of us like Europe. It's not for everyone. I love France. Like for a Black American, like it really is a good fit. They love culture. I love culture. They love being joyous and fun and dancing. I love being joyous, fun, and dancing. Americans, puritanical base, Christian base. I would never have chosen this. Like, these people, these joyless, miserable people, like never, ever, never would I have chosen them. Right. And so I'm having a good time. So I know Europe isn't for everyone, but if you're a first world person and you just like a culture that values beauty, aesthetics, harmony, and fun and joy, and their public respect to your value system, right? We've been voting here trying to get people to have for value systems. They've been resisting. France has that. The vote they are politically. So yeah, as you considering, so if you're interested, you can email me, Lisa, pick up with you. Hey everybody for hey, hello. Sorry, I can't show. Can I show? Oh, there you go. Hey, and yeah, it's been. You want to know why I stopped early? My YouTube isn't growing, so I'd come on do. So it's hard to produce that and not. And it just got stagnant. You know, people are doing their own thing. So sometimes when you're not seeing the returns, to keep giving and not receiving, it's just like I'm just not made for that. So come on, you know, it's the first of the year, and I've just had some thoughts and things I'm seeing that people think it's impossible, and it's not. It's a lot more possible than you think, and I'm living it. So I'm like, oh, let me tell them that they can really maximize, especially for the travelers out there. You can really maximize it and make it work. So I hope you're doing good. I'm not gonna say I'm too gonna be like super consistent on this because I can't even lie to you guys. Like, I'm gonna come on when I can, share what I can. If you see it pop up, I hope you guys take the time. But and there's no seem to be any questions out there before I hang on up. Before I hang up, any questions before I call it a day? Anything about converting single family to multi family, investing overseas, especially in European countries? European countries are my job, but like, you know, I feel like Caribbean, that's cool too, because I've had a couple of clients who are investing in the Caribbean. No? All right. Well, thank you guys for paying attention. If this gets the right person, whoever's out there and you'd still like to work one on one and do some rental property coaching, you've never purchased before, you're not quite sure, and you want to do it in the lower price ones. Funny enough, we've already had low priced properties, and they're still low priced. Like you would think they'd go away, but it's just a cycle. And now there's a downward pressure on prices because, you know, it's a buyer's market and there's a lot more sellers. So this is a wonderful time to buy because you could ask anything and they're like, dude, I just need to sell this thing. So whatever you want, right? So you get some great deals right now. Great. Because they want to get their money in, you know, do whatever, you know. All right. Thank you to everyone out there who listened. I'll try to be back on. Thank you for showing up, even though it's been so long. I appreciate the floor water day. I hope this was important, or just get a little perspective of things you can do. If you have any questions, write them in the comment, and I'll try to. Okay, Lisa. Here's the watch. I just saw that this was. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Hey, Tamika.